Oh yeah, good old coffee. And I need coffee for this video. Guys, other countries and governments are preparing for nuclear fallout, nuclear war, except the United States. Alright guys, so I'm not trying to scare people and saying, oh, we're fixing to get nailed by nuclear weapons. Is it a possibility? Yeah, of course, it's always a possibility. That's why we're preppers. We prepare for as many things as possible. It doesn't run our life in fear. As long as we're prepared for it, yeah, we're not running around when things happen and try to protect our family because we've already got everything in place. Should be a news article popped up there for you. Nuclear threat from Ukraine war prompts Ottawa to update plans for catastrophe. This is Canada's dusting off and updating emergency protocols to deal with fallout from possible tactical nuclear exchange in Europe or the spread of radiation across the ocean from the Ukrainian power plant explosion. These are all very valid threats as far as precautionary things, because these things could happen. A lot of people don't want to hear about this, mainly because the comments I see, sorry guys, I had a rough night. Mainly because the comments I see is, if there's nuclear war, I would rather be dead than survive. Just because there's an exchange of nuclear weapons does not mean the entire world is destroyed, unless there's a complete arsenal release of nuclear weapons. That means everybody dumping everything that they got. Then yeah, humanity is going to have a very, very difficult time to survive. Is it survivable? Well, some experts say yes. Other experts say no. But limited strikes or a single nuclear power plant exploding, throwing radiation, the majority of people will survive. Will there be hot zones and will there be sickness, cancers, and things like that? Yes. Radiation poisoning? Yes, absolutely. This isn't just another reason why I say you need to be preparing as much as possible. So Canada is now on board on updating their stuff. Now, I don't know if Canada has any bunker systems. They might. I'm not in Canada. I can tell you here in the United States, we don't. The only thing I've ever seen the United States even cover with nuclear or anything is, for the American people, is that we had warnings about, you know, you can use this mall as a shelter. That's it. I think that was in New York, maybe. I could be wrong on that as far as where it was. That's it. You don't see our government out here warning people to prepare. Most of the time they just say, hey guys, just put about 3 days worth of food and water in your house. And don't worry, daddy government's going to come take care of you. Even with nuclear threat off the table, ladies and gentlemen, hurricanes alone, natural disasters, earthquakes, tornadoes, when these things rip through a town, and I know people are going to say, well, if a tornado hits your house, there goes your prep. Absolutely. But the odds of that one tornado hitting your house is very slim. Will it hit houses? Sure, it's a roll of the dice on which one it hits. But what happens is the devastation in the area. No power, people cannot get to you because everything's in the way. Hence Hurricane Michael here in my local area. If people only had 3 days supply of food and water in their home, they were hurting very badly. Thankfully, down here in Florida, most Floridians stock up for hurricane season. I would like to encourage them to continue to do it as a yearly thing. Add to it, because it's not just hurricanes we try to prepare for. But it took a long time for the government to get down here and render aid. It was just, everything was a mess down here. 3 days was not enough for someone to have food and water, and that's it. 3 days worth. Just wasn't. So with this, guys, I do encourage you to be prepping as much as possible. Now, you can do the whole nuclear, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear equipment from here. We're affiliated with them. The odds are, again, statistically wise, I don't expect a full-on nuclear strike here in America. Could there be a tactical nuke released? Yeah, very possible. We're dealing with Russia and China on this. Do we have kits? Yes, we do. The main priority you need to be working on is things that's going to sustain your life as much as possible. First thing, if you need medications, get medications. Now, guys, I've shown the Iosat tablets and ThyroSafe. These are potassium iodide. What it does is saturate your thyroid so that when nuclear radiation is released, your thyroid does not absorb certain type of radioactive isotopes. Hey, you know, they're a great item to have. From the research I'm seeing, people over the age of 40 really, you know, it's up to you. We have them. Am I saying you all need to go get them? No, I'm not saying you need to go get anything. What I am saying is you need to make sure you have food and supplies stockpiled. That's what I am saying. Because if a nuclear strike was to hit America, even though that you're not in the blast radius or the fallout wind pattern of such an attack, it's going to completely destroy our infrastructure system. It's going to take it all out. One, power in the area is gone. Water, supply, food coming in. So it's going to be a freaking mess. It's not your normal day living. How much stocks and supplies do you have access to? For those that say they're just going to run to Walmart and just go take what they want to, so is several 100,000 other people in your local area going to the exact same place. And trust me, they will be armed as well. So that's not really a plan at all. That's a reaction. Now, of course, if we had a nuclear hit right here where I'm at, odds are wouldn't survive. I don't live directly near a military base. Odds are my area would not be targeted. My apologies, my phone was going off there. Personal note, guys, I've been going through quite a bit, and it's not just myself, also my wife. I have 2 children from a previous relationship. My other spouse passed away. My kid's mom passed away. During my time, guys, of course, you know, I was incarcerated there for a while. Anyway, I had went to go get my kids years ago, and I had family members set me up. And they, you know, I went to prison. When I got out, they left the state. I was on parole and stuff, so I couldn't do anything. I mean, when I first got out of prison, I was in a halfway house and stuff. And then I had my surgery. I was in and out of surgery for a full year. Pandemic happened. I mean, we were living in a 6x12 cargo trailer because we were going to go homestead in Wyoming. Everything just, our whole plans fell through. Fortunate for me, I started building here. So I built our home right here. Anyway, I've been asking for my family member to bring down my kids, bring them back to state. And they kept on giving me excuses why they couldn't. So after getting the house built and everything, I asked again. I want you to bring down my kids because I never lost custody. I signed a temporary thing for medical purposes and stuff. Anyway, I got served papers. Well, they're trying to get custody of my children, take custody from me. Fortunately for me, here in the state of Florida, you have to prove that I'm an unfit father, which isn't true. Yeah, I've been speaking to lawyers, guys. This is why I'm in and out, you know, not so much here on YouTube. And we've got a lot of shorts and stuff we're doing because I'm busy between work, YouTube, and dealing with lawyers. So for those that have reached out, because I did a video a while back, I did take it down. That was just giving away too much information on that. I took that video down, but you know, let you guys know I've been going through a lot right now. I prepare. That's just my normal way of life. Stockpiling up, making sure everything's set and everything else. I mean, dude, we got free power because we pieced our solar system together, got it all working, got it all wired in. It's just been going through a lot. So between legal fees, trying to deal with all that, it's a strain. It really is. Luckily for me, I'm a Capricorn and I'm just a hard-headed individual. When people throw things at me like this, yeah, it's stressful, but it just pushes me even harder. So if you guys notice some things different on the channel, it's just because I got a lot on my plate right now. I want to thank those that did reach out, helped us through PayPal and stuff with our legal fees. It does help out. So we went and spoke to lawyers, actual real lawyers, and working on getting the retainer fees and everything else for them, because lawyers are not cheap. But something like this, when it comes to your children, you don't play around with. You go ahead and get yourself a very good lawyer. So anyway, this is going to be a long, drawn out process. The individuals I'm working against, that are working against me, are spiteful individuals. You know, I asked them to watch my children when I went to work in North Dakota, when I was working the oil fields, because I was a single parent raising 2 boys. After working in North Dakota, I went down to Arizona, bought me a place. Bought the place. Oil field money's good money. Contacted them, said, hey, I got a place for them, come on over. And they refused to. They said, well, I'll meet you halfway in Texas. I had another family member contact me. He said, don't you go there. They're going to have you arrested. I'm like, they ain't going to do shit to me. Well, I was still on the run from the law at that time. By the way, for the mouthpieces, my crimes was forgery back in 2007. This was 3 years prior to I ever had kids. Ever since I've been a parent, I've not broken any laws. I've stayed the course. I worked my ass off. I'm being judged on past stuff. I've already done my time and everything else. Anyway, went to go get my kids, and sure enough, family members had over 20 sheriff's officers roll in on me. So that's, you know, people ask me about my kids all the time. Well, that's why I got separated from them. I was incarcerated. They took them. And then when I got on parole, they left state. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. And then trying to get them back. I've been trying to get them back. And then they served me custody paperwork. They're trying to get custody of my children. That ain't gonna fly. So it is a very long, drawn-out process. It is hurtful. It is painful. It is what it is. The thing is, you throw anything at me, I always prevail. It's just the way it is. Anyway, guys, I just want to get that information out to you guys. I went sidetracked on it, just to let you guys know. I always talk to y'all. I've been going through a lot of stuff here at the house, so has my wife. Everything between her chiropractor and everything, because she's got some issues, and we're trying to get that fixed at the same time. Anyway, I'm just glad that we did have stuff stockpiled up. I'm glad we have income coming in here on YouTube, also my job, my wife's job. I'm glad we have all these things in place. So what I've got to do is work hard. I got to skin out the rest of the interior of the house. I got to get some furniture for my kids' room. And yeah, that ain't nothing. I can do all that in a weekend. So that's why I'm working so many hours. I'm just trying to get everything squared away. Anyway, guys, definitely appreciate you being here with us. Our community has always been very strong. It's just, that's life. You go through things. What you do not do is throw up your hands and yell, I give up. Now, if you're praying to God himself, yes, absolutely, I say, hey. But when I see people just, I don't want to deal with things, or it's just too much, I don't give up. It's not my DNA to give up. It's just not. Anyway, guys, appreciate you being here. You guys be safe. Work on prepping. There's a lot of stuff going on. You don't need to be ready for this. Speak to you later.